Did Tiger King 2 drop? Did that come out?
Nah, I don't think so. I was on Netflix earlier this morning.
I wondered if it landed with like no Tiger King season 2, November 17th. It comes out.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if I'm that interested in the story anymore. Is he out of jail?
No. I think they did shorten his sentence, but he's still in jail.
Oh, really?
But I'm like, what made Tiger King amazing was the footage, the real footage of like him reacting to stuff and the journey that these people were on. If they're just doing interviews afterwards, which I think what it is, like, yeah, now that the show came out, what do you think? I'm not into it.
Yeah.
I hate anything like that. I want to say they did a thing like that already with Tiger King. Yeah, they did. Remember that? They made that extra episode.
One more episode. Yeah.
Where they're on Zoom and it was so fucking
Who did they have?
stupid.
Joel McHale or somebody hosting it? And it was just like, I hated him doing that. I'm fine with
Is he the
him.
guy from Community, Joel McHale?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm almost positive he was hosting it because I think he was mostly hosting it because he was like everybody else, like he was a really big fan of it because he seemed really engaged and like when this happened and that, like he seemed to know what he's talking about.
It was funny how like media that would have been, come and go was huge and dominating our culture because of the pandemic and the lockdown.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, that wasn't that good a game. Right, but Animal Crossing was huge. Every woman on the planet seemed to be playing it because they're locked in. Tiger King, interesting, but it wouldn't have been the focus of American culture if it wasn't for COVID.
It was our life for a week.
Yeah, everyone was locked away. What are you gonna do?
It was funny,
and once you had seen it, you really genuinely wanted others to see it, like because I watched it twice. I watched it once with my girlfriend at the time and once with my dad. And I just remember watching it with my girlfriend, and we would be on somewhere around episode 3, and getting toward the end, and I'd be like, "Can you believe how insane this show is?" And then you get to the end of episode 3 or so, and it's like, "Oh, and just so you know, they murdered them all." And you're like, "Wait, I'm watching a show about murderers," and it's just like, and you get to the end of episode 4, and it's like, "Oh, and by the way, here he is, dun dun dun," and it's like that guy we've been spending an hour like talking about, like he's Bigfoot. He's part of the show now. Like every episode ended so well. It was so well. It's a crazy story. It really is.
What are you talking about? Who
Tiger King
showed up in the 4th episode?
I'm not literally. What I'm saying is like at the end of every episode, it was just an awesome like.
Yeah.
Yeah, when all of a sudden you're like, wait, that's his boyfriend. What?
Yeah,
like a boyfriend.
That would happen.
In addition to the tigers, the Tiger King kept a harem of boys. And then be like, all right, let's look into this.
He wasn't even gay. He just really liked meth. Right? At one point, he was like, when you watch porn, is there 2 girls in it or a guy and a girl? He's like, well, a guy and a girl. You ain't that straight.
I can work
you
with
can
that.
like real time. You can like hear him gaslighting this guy into sucking his dick. He's like, well, you're not. You're clearly not that straight. You sucked me off last night. It's like, that was for the meth.
You barely cried at all. You barely cried at all this time.
Like after the show ended and they like come back and like, I'm actually not gay.
Dude, that clip where like that guy is like the guy that he was fucking, who I don't remember. He was the taller, younger guy who was like the pride of the harem for the Tiger King. Like he like walked into that room and was like fucking around with a gun. And then like killed himself, and you could just see the other guy in the room like, oh,
There was no build up to it, nothing. Like the guy got a little more attention, like we kind of got to know him better, and then he killed himself.
That came out of left field. Yeah, it was like, what
came
the
out of left
fuck?
Field. Perfect. I did not see that coming. I had no idea.
That's what I'm getting at. Like as crazy of a story as the Tiger King saga is, the people who made that show. I want to find out who made that show and what other shows have they made. Like I want them to make more shows about other things that have nothing to do with tigers or Tiger Kings, because like the way that they like roll you from episode to episode and like you just said, the way that there's like, I feel like some other documentary would be like, and that was the day that little Billy accidentally shot himself, and then there'd be this whole build up.
Yeah.
And then there'd be like text at the bottom. You're about to see the footage of that day where Billy accidentally
sensitive viewers,
and you'd be sitting there like, all right, well, I guess the guy's gonna like accidentally shoot himself now. Everybody gather around, but no, you're watching it and it's just like some bullshit footage and just bang, and a human being just watched another human being shoot himself in the face. So he's just like,
if a genie gave me 3 wishes, I think I'd get the footage that was burnt to come back.
Oh yeah, that would be a good thing.
Would you want the crocodilian footage? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like the guy had years of.
Oh, come on, we know what's on that footage. Give me like another angle of the Zapruder film or something like that. Like I know what's on the Tiger King footage. It's a fucking redneck going up there and burning some crocodilians alive to get rid of some equipment.
No, the footage was in the crocodile thing. It was years worth of footage that he realized was incriminating. So he burned all his crocodiles and the area where the footage was.
Oh, you're talking about the lost footage that was in that trailer.
What Tiger King actually is like the leftover scraps, and that was magic. The real magic is lost forever.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Can you imagine? Can you imagine all of the like? Because the stuff I was really interested in was all the employees that worked there and their backstories. They were fascinating. When they were eating out of that frozen food truck, that was wild.
Oh, every employee there is from the island of broken toys.
Whatever they were all fucked up.
Yeah.
And
he would just like, he'd go to bus stations, look for people who had no hope and offer them a little hope. Like, you look fucked up. We have a job and drugs. Those are my favorite things.
Hey, you ever feed a tiger or suck a cock?
I only want to do one of those. I think I can guess which one.
You're guessing wrong, but did you have meth?
What was the context of when
you can't do both at the same time?
Was it Carol Baskin? Like she released something when he gave that line, like "I am never going to financially recover from this." He's like
somebody
crying,
was hurt, right?
It was when that woman got her fucking
It was
when that trans person got their arm bitten off, and they're laying on the fucking ground bleeding.
Yeah.
And he walks away so callously.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Yeah.
You know who's never going to financially recover from that? The person without an arm.
Yeah. And they stayed.
No insurance, no anything. They're just fuck. Yeah, they stayed. That was the fucked up thing. Like that, like you said, Kyle, the way it played out, you didn't see the person with no arm until after that clip of them losing their arm, and then there's the interview. Well, let me tell you what it's like. Like, what the fuck? This is insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they stayed. they kept feeding tigers for a living. Like, and
she stayed there. The best part was like they were like, well, I can't remember if that person wants to identify as man or woman, but let's just,
I forget too.
Yeah.
So whatever they want, that's what I meant. So he says, he's like, they told me they could save my arm, but that would mean staying in the hospital for like weeks or even months, and that would make the Tiger Park look bad. Because I would be in the news.
You're right.
I'd be in the news. I'm in the news every week. Oh, girl hangs on with dangly arm. Will they keep it? Will it fall off? What will happen?
Oh,
she's like, just cut it off. Let's get this out of the news.
Let's get back to work.
I got another one.
Let's get back to feeding tigers. Give me the arm. I'm going to give it to Tony. He wanted it.
He clearly wanted
it. She feeds what's left of her arm to Tony after they detach it.
And he was a fan of arms.
He clearly enjoyed being the Tiger King.
He loved it,
but didn't have as much interest in training the tigers or anything to do. Like when he would walk in there, you could tell that even he was like, and they're perfectly fine. And sometimes they walk up close to you like that. And it
tiger attacked him, and I think he accused Carol Baskin of putting like tuna on his boots or something.
Yeah,
remember that? Yeah.
Yes,
that fucking bitch Carol Baskin put tuna in my shoes. Why would she do that?
Shit, that's right.
And then she all the evidence, or at least the way the show presented it, which you never know, it seemed like she killed her husband by feeding him to tigers. And they would it wouldn't even be edited. They'd be like, what do you say to the accusations that you fed your husband to tigers? She's like, Well, that is just so insane. Like, and just saying it with jubilation and glee in her voice.
Yeah,
like, oh, little old me. No.
Wasn't her husband like a drug dealer who routinely flew a single engine plane low over the ocean? And that's how he died. Like,
all right.
I thought that was like her boyfriend.
I feel like you're adding a lot of things to this. I don't remember them saying it was a drug dealer. I don't remember if he flew it low over the ocean. And I don't know how routine it was. I don't remember the drug part. I mean, it could be true. Like, maybe that came out later. But
I don't remember a huge amount.
Flew to Costa Rica. I'm going to Google it.
Woody, Santa Claus is over here giving the kids presents. Don't come to us with this low flying drug dealer angle. Okay, I need Carol back. All right, don't take this from me.
He was being a good guy.
We're having fun here.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I will watch the next
series.
They
found the wreckage of the plane. Turns out he just got lost. Don't do that.
Tiger.
Don't tell me about
tiger claws on
Santa Claus.
No, what's an easier way to get rid of a body? I know the pig thing from horror movies, but tigers have to be up there. Like, they probably don't eat the bones and everything like a pig does. So you still have to clean up your husband's bones.
I don't know.
It'd be a quick death. It'd be a real quick death if you're fed to tigers. But I think that the claim was that she killed him and then pushed him into the tiger cage
to get rid of the evidence there. You know, God, some people could just do some fucking sick shit.
I know. Like, and there has to be part of you, unless you're like a serial killer, that as you're doing that, you're like, this is wrong.
What am I doing? How did I get here?
Not again.
I woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have murdered my husband. What was the reason given?
He was divorcing, right?
Divorcing
for a younger woman.
He's gonna take the tigers.
Yeah,
he's gonna take my tigers, and so I had to kill him. Is what they're saying. I did.
That's what they're saying.
She
was get all those girls to work for free for her.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Like a
yeah.
It was interesting how like how the tiger thing sort of attracted these very similar but very different individuals. Like they were all essentially con people. They were all con men.
Definitely.
Who wanted sex or wanted some sort of like personal like satisfaction from their followers. They had the one guy who literally he was just like, I'm gonna get some bitches. Like, I'm gonna get some bitches up in here. Yeah, you get that house and you getting that one over there. Yeah, y'all work 18 hours a day, by the way, when you're not sucking my dick. And set up like three very attractive women if you consider what he looks like. And then the other guy has the two gay husbands. Mm-hmm. He's got it all set up. And then Carol Baskins over there just has all of those Karens who work for her and just kiss her fucking ass all day long.
Like, the tigers really did seem almost ancillary to their need to be in charge and be liked and be. It was just tigers were their method of doing it.
I looked into the husband and his death a little more, and it's a little sketchier than I was making it out to be. He did routinely fly to Costa Rica, but he did it to cheat on his wife. He would go and hire sex workers, especially when she was on her period. He would just go to Costa Rica and fuck other women.
Jesus.
He wanted a divorce, but she said he wasn't really serious about it. He filed a restraining order against her, but it seems like he wasn't serious about that because they still lived together. So he didn't really enforce it or do anything. And but they did seem to have some real marriage issues in that the restraining order and the divorce requests and stuff like that. And there's no sign of foul play. They don't have anything against her, but he just vanished. So
with a bunch of tigers around, yeah.
So something's amiss.
She refused to take a polygraph, but I think that isn't that suspicious. I think I would too.
Yeah, I feel like a polygraph, if you're like super nervous, you could fuck it up.
Yeah.
Polygraphs are just interrogation techniques. Like that's the whole point. Is and like they can make that thing say whatever they want it to say.
Yeah.
Just so they can be like, hey, it seems like right here on this question, you didn't really know what was going on. What's that? Why does it say this and that say that? And you're like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what those I don't know what the scratchy lines mean. You can like
they can just make shit up.
Like, that's the best part. No one does.
Well, that's the thing they used to say in movies is like, put a thumbtack in your shoe and push down when you're
telling the truth, right? So that you're like stressed and nervous when you tell the truth, and because you're pressing on the thumbtack, and then when you're lying, you're an equivalent level of stressed and nervous as you were truthing with a thumbtack.
Yeah.
But then what if they reverse everything?
I think the idea is I think the idea is that you
double negatives.
I think the idea is that you always thumbtack, right? You just thumbtack on every question, and so every question is just a wash. And they're like, I don't know, no.
Yeah, this person's just skittish.
Yeah,
he just like
he seems terrified. His heart rate was 180 the whole time, and he's crying.
Yeah, his heart beats 180, and his nose was bleeding the entire time.
By the time I got to his mother's maiden name, he was openly weeping.
Don't make me tell you my mother's. God. Like, sir, is there something wrong with your foot? It's bleeding all over the place.
And you're just filling out some forms.
You just have to be honest to be like, this won't work on me. I'm a notorious liar.
Yeah.
You don't, or yeah, I guess there is no way to fool it because you're right, Kyle. It's not like they're saying like this wiggly line means you're guilty. They're just using it to press you for other stuff. I can't believe I never really thought.
The idea is that they start with a baseline, right? They ask you, "Hey, is your name Taylor?" Yeah, my name is yes. Do you live in St. Louis? Yes. And now they've got a baseline for truthful responses amongst a lot of different sort of like.
It seems like the technique is to fuck up the baseline, right? Is your name Woody?
Yeah, you're just looking for inconsistencies. Like all of a sudden, it looks just like your other answers were for the truth that they know of, the baseline, and then when it jumps around a little bit, they got to go, oh, I guess that's a lie because it's not the baseline anymore.
Yeah,
it seems like they could just interpret it any way they want.
I think to some extent that probably works, but to another extent, like maybe you just asked me a question that really upset me.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's not admissible. So
hey, I just wanted to
take it anyway.
and okay, and you live in Georgia, yes, and your wife's a filthy whore, right? Wait, what? Look, it says right here. You got very angry first of all. Yeah, your wife was a filthy whore. You said she wasn't. But as you can see here, you were lying.
Yeah.
Your wife is a whore and I fucked her. What? He's just saying statements at me now to get me upset. Yeah. I mean, they would be fun to play around with. A lie detector, see like how accurate they actually are, how much you could fool it. Like have someone ask you a very obvious lie and then you try and finagle your way around it.
They were because lie detectors, according to me, were from like the 70s or maybe 80s, and it was magic. Oh my god! Now we can tell you're lying. I remember the first time I saw one,
lies.
It was on the TV show That's Incredible, and they could tell if a person.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Now it seems like it could be an app on your Apple Watch that could be just as accurate. I wonder.
Getting some reading of your pulse and fucking temperature or something, and they deem you a liar. I saw one, and I think it is an interrogation technique. It's like trying to get a confession out of you. I can't remember the case, but the person came in and said, well, right now in this room, only one person knows what actually happened. But after this, we're all going to know what happened. And instantly that puts the thing in the guy's head like, oh, shit. Mm-hmm. Then as they take the test, they ask the questions. Then when it's done, she goes, well, I told you that we'd all know. And there were a lot of inconsistencies in your answers. She literally used it, even though it's not admissible in court. She used telling him that he fucked up, and it made him confess. Like, well, they all know. I guess I better, come up with some accident scenario or self-defense or something.
That guy needed a lawyer.
I was listening to
right. Grab a mouthpiece, motherfucker. You're a dummy.